Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I said hey, welcome back to my channel. Hey y'all, I'm Jasmine W. Welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Hey girl.
Y'all know I like to jump right into things, but if I have announcements, I like to tell you guys. On my YouTube channel recently, I've been featuring Black-owned brands before we get started every week. And I want to talk about the sweatshirt I'm wearing. It says Black culture influences everything. And you know we do. And when I wore this to Target 2 days in a row, I was waiting on somebody to say something to me. And they didn't, because they know better. Don't nobody be trying me when I be out. But anyway, this sweater is created by a company named Social Theory. I'll put their website and their Instagram below. And because Black culture does influence everything, I thought it was a really cool sweatshirt they sent me. So I just want to shout them out. They have a bunch of, cool sweatshirts. And then I also, I feel like a lot of Black brands recently have shirts that have text on them. So I'm always looking for something a little bit unique, a little bit different. And so I love the text on this one. And then, just the placement and everything. And the quality was really good. So shout out to Social Theory. Also, I know this video is super late, so I just appreciate everybody in the comments. Y'all are so funny. Y'all be like, Jasmine, we don't mind waiting. So I appreciate everybody just being patient. And this week, I'm gonna really try to be on time. I don't see why there's a reason I wouldn't be, but child, who knows, child? I might be taking a nap. Anyway, we're gonna do Married at First Sight, the most recent episode. Hopefully I remember all of the things that I wanted to say. I do have lots of notes, like I always have. And y'all know on my channel, we start with the most boring couple, okay? So I'm gonna start with the couple I have the least amount of notes on. I think that's the way I'm gonna do it today. So let's start with Steve and Noy.
Oh, Noy.
Steve and Noy. I wrote down Noy been in love with Steve since day 2.
Literally.
And she's told Steve several times that she loves him. Noy, you do not love Steve. You are not in love with Steve. Steve is not in love with you. Y'all don't love each other.
At all. You
cannot be in love with somebody and love somebody, and then as soon as they say something about the way you cook noodles, you go to your back to your apartment.
You packed your bags and left. And posted on Facebook.
That's not what love is, just in case you don't know. Anyway, I wrote down, Noy, it's been 10 days and you left for one night. That means it's only been 9 days that y'all been together. Stop saying that you love him, because you don't. I don't know why Noy is so thirsty for love. You seem to have 2 parents who love you and support you very much. And siblings that love and support you very much. Girl, why are you so thirsty for somebody to love you?
I think she thirsty to get her eggs cracked, scrambled. Anyway,
I wrote down, Noy, you are not in love. Shut up.
Okay, you said
that. Anyway, Steve and Noy went on like a little beach date, and this was like their 4-day anniversary or something, whatever they called it. This is our 2-week anniversary. And he was like, no. Well, she tried to say it's the 1-month anniversary. He's like, no, it's only been 3 weeks. Girl. Anyway, I don't understand why when people pop champagne, they think it's funny.
Right.
Noy and Steve popped champagne, and then they started busted out into laughter. What's funny about that? I just personally, if I was out and me and my friends pop champagne, we'd be like, okay, finally it's open. We wouldn't be like,
Actually, y'all would though.
But anyway, that's just me.
But y'all would, but.
Y'all see what kind of mood, what kind of energy I'm on today. Anyway.
Yeah, a liar.
Yeah, I wrote down, Noy, this is your 3-week anniversary. Y'all are not in love.
Okay, they not in love.
I also wrote down when she said, I love you, Steve. I also wrote down that when Steve said that he loved Noy, he was lying.
Girl, you already said that.
Steve, but maybe he not, because he said he been in love 5 times. I've been in love with everybody I've been with. Really? Okay, well, that leads me to believe that you actually haven't, but okay. How you gonna be in love with everybody you done been with?
Right.
Well, why you not with one of them 5 people?
Okay.
Child. And Noy said, he finally said it. He finally said, I love you. Finally, it's been 3 weeks. You act like you've been waiting for 3 years for him to tell you that he loves you. It's been 3 weeks.
Women have had longer periods.
Anyway, child. Anyway. Let's move on to the next couple. I don't have a lot of patience today. Who we gonna move on to next?
Ren and Stimpy. Laverne and Shirley.
You know what? Just because I want to, let's move on to Lucy and Ricky.
There we go.
Mark said that one thing that he liked about Lindsay is that she's really positive.
What, for COVID?
When? Lindsay is like one of those fake positive people. She's extremely passive aggressive. She tries to come off as positive, but she's actually not. A lot of things that she says a lot of the time is negative with a smile. That's why she's the epitome of the annoying white coworker that you have, because she says things with a smile, but they're rude.
Passive aggressive.
I don't like that. That's passive aggressive. That's not a good friend. You know, especially when somebody does something for you and then holds it against you later.
Like collateral.
Yeah, I don't like that. Lindsay told Mark, I've absorbed your toxic sludge.
Girl.
Lindsay, you are negative. You are a negative person. You are also toxic. You asked him why he kept every single baseball he threw and when he said it's a childhood memory, you made him feel like, you were like, oh, okay. Girl, you need help. You literally need help.
Therapy.
You didn't like what he said to you, so you went on and on about his peen and how he doesn't make you have an orgasm.
Ooh, not his peen.
And then had the nerve to...
Peen is short for penis.
Like, continue to have an attitude with him after you just embarrassed him on national TV. And honestly, Ricky is a nice guy.
Who is Ricky?
And we already talked about how he didn't deserve that. So I'm sorry. I'm never going to forgive Lucy for this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, them. Look at the picture.
Anyway, I wrote down, Lindsay said that Mark needs to come to his senses. About what? He needs to just really say that he don't want to be with you at this point. But I don't know why he's dragging it on. He's really dragging it, and I think the producers are making him. Lindsay said, now Mark's got to earn me. Girl, maybe he don't want to earn you.
You ain't worth much.
Maybe he don't want to. Like, have you ever just like, you know when people be like, now you got to work for my love. Baby, I wouldn't want your love for free.
Right. Donate it.
I wouldn't want your love if it was given to me, babe. And now you telling me I got to work for it? No, thank you. Where do I clock out? Because I'm not interested. Girl, and what are you going to do for Mark? You've insulted him. You literally, like... Lindsay, the marriage is about a two-way street. I think Lindsay really wants somebody to kiss her ass. She wants somebody who's going to grovel and appreciate her so much that they just lick her booty hole. And guess what? I don't think that you've done anything for Mark that requires that he really just bow down to you like you Beyonce.
Beyonce.
She told, Lucy told Ricky, Lucy and Ricky is my name for Lindsay and Mark this episode. Keep up. That's why I got pictures right here. I don't want nobody in the comments talking about this is confusing. This is fun. Okay? We make up a new name for them every week. Okay? Catch up. Anyway, Lucy talking about you sabotaging yourself by treating me poorly. No, actually, you're sabotaging yourself because you're showing that you think that Ricky owes you something that he don't owe you, Lucy.
Which is nothing.
He's been patient. He's been nice, and you've been getting on his nerves. I'm sorry. And at the end of the day, I'm right. I'm completely right about Lucy wanting Ricky to kiss her ass because she says, what do you like about me? Do you even like anything about me? That's what I say to my husband when I want him to compliment me and I want him to tell me how beautiful and wonderful and how much he appreciates me. Do you even like me? Because I don't think you do.
Well, tell me then.
Do you even want to be with me? Yeah, you proposed, but what weight does that hold now? That was years ago.
Okay.
What do I even mean to you? Okay, that's the kind of stuff you say, child, when you need somebody to be like, baby, listen, I love you to death. And guess what? Let me tell you something. A man ain't gonna say it. A man gonna say, girl, look what I provide. But anyway, that's another story. Mark ended up telling, Ricky ended up telling Lucy, deep in the core, in the center of you a good person. This is why I like Ricky. He's shady. He's shady like me, honey. He said deep. When you dig deep, like past your organs, I'm talking about deep in your soul, in the core of your soul of who God created you to be, you a good person. You a lovable person. Deep, like if we could just peel you open so we can just get to the good part, child, if you could just die and I can just see your spirit, whatever's left after you die, your spirit is lovable.
Your remnants.
That was nice that he said that. Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
Lucy said that she said, I'm at 1% now. Yeah. I'm at 1% now, and I was at 100%. Now I'm at 1%, and now you're gonna have to work for me. Now you're gonna have to work for me, Mark. I'm at 1% now, and guess what? You'll be lucky if you get anything more than 1% for me. Okay, so let's see how this goes, baby. You gotta work for me now. You wanna suck on these tits, babe? Guess what? You gotta work for it now. Yeah, it's not gonna happen easy.
She said all that?
And Mark said, at least you're not at 0. And I'm wondering, now that she's at 1%, will she have the energy, like, to be quiet now? Because I'm really tired. I'm tired. Baby, you at 1%. Hopefully that means everything's at 1% and you could just pipe down a little bit because you get on everybody's nerves at this point. Mark ended up cooking for Lucy and he asked how it tastes. She said she wanted it well done. And she said it tastes like leather.
That was funny though, kinda.
And Mark kept eating his sandwich and I don't blame him. Like, y'all, I'm done. I'm done with Lucy, to be honest. I'm done. I got one question for y'all though, for real. I'm like, is Mark gonna wear his gym shirt every day? Okay, babe, we get it. We get it. You promoting your gym. Lucy already said you make $60,000 a year signing up for gym memberships. Hopefully this will bring you a little bit more, you know, focus to the gym and a little more, you know, business to the gym and stuff. But I'm like, is he going to wear that every day? Go ahead and promote your gym. I'm not even mad at it. I got plenty of love for it. Just go ahead and do it, you know? Like, why shouldn't he be able to promote his gym to millions of people? Why not?
Right, just go ahead.
I'm like, but he don't own the gym, do he? Can y'all tell me if he owned the gym or if he just worked there? Because I'm like, I wouldn't be promoting somebody else's business, you know, but anyway.
Right, I wouldn't be promoting my job.
I wrote down, why is Lindsay always analyzing Mark, but she doesn't do any self-analyzation? Ooh, Dr. Jazz, baby. You should be reflecting on yourself more than you are reflecting on your partner's actions, to be honest.
Oh, that's a word.
Because even if your partner is doing some things you don't like, it's like, why is this triggering me? Why am I putting up with this? Why am I, like, I reflect on my own actions way more than I reflect on the actions of others. Because at the end of the day, you can't control other people. So you steady here trying to diagnose Mark when you're the one who really needs to go to therapy, Lindsay.
Dr. Jazz.
Ooh, Dr. Jazz got her together very quickly. Anyway, Mike straight up lied to Lindsay's face by saying, I could see myself loving you. He literally just told, didn't he tell Olajuwon last week that he can't even really, like, you know, he don't even see himself falling for her at all. Didn't he say, like, I don't even see it for me, like, even falling for her, or whatever phrase that he used. But now you can see yourself loving her? The producers, they're playing.
Catching feelings.
The producers are playing with us. Because I know he actually don't feel that way about her. He don't feel like he could love her. He just said that he don't even feel like he could like her, really. He's like, I don't see myself falling for her, period. But now you can love her this week after she went ballistic in the bowling alley? These scenes have got to be rearranged. Because I don't see him saying that. I wrote down, you couldn't have been in love if you were done after the bowling incident.
Right.
And, you know, that's what I'm saying. Lindsay took Mark to eat sushi. I wrote down, Lindsay, you are not Mark's tour guide. She feels like she has to put him on to things. Dating Lindsay is like being a young woman dating an old man who think you don't know nothing.
A granddaddy.
It's like, it seems like it would be fun from the outside looking in, but when you actually do it, it's just very annoying.
Terrible.
Because they always thinking they're going to teach you something. Lindsay, leave me alone. How about that? Sometimes you should allow your partner to just be themselves. And I don't think that Mark will ever feel comfortable just being himself around her, because she talks she's so passive aggressive, and she really puts him down. I wrote down, it's really sad to me that other people in Mark's life didn't introduce him to new foods. He's never had a taco. He's never had sushi. I'm like, dude, what type of complacency do you have even in your friend group that you've never even had a new food before? And maybe I'm just privileged, because me and my friends, we like to do things together. Like, we love to do the same things that young Black girls like to do. You know what I mean? Like, you know, go to the beauty supply together and go to brunch and go to day parties. But we also love to do things that are out of the ordinary. We want to take trips to different places together. We want to experience new foods. We want to expand our palates.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, what kind of friends do you have that just keep you stuck in a box to where they don't even invite you to try new things? Whack. Like, you guys must have a pretty boring group of friends, family members, and ex-lovers. And maybe I just grew up. I didn't grow up in a household that tried new foods necessarily. Like, my parents have never had sushi. But I grew up in a household that was not judgmental when it came to trying new foods. Like, we were open to it. It doesn't mean that we tried a lot of foods from other people's cultures. But my parents, you know, they grew up in the South, so they're open to trying new things. So, like, food is like a basic entry point when it comes to just experiencing life, experiencing other cultures, and just being open to new things. Food is like the basic entry point to that. So, yeah. Anyway, I wrote down, finally, why is Mike apologizing to this woman? I think the producers made him do it. I can't think of one reason why Mike would apologize to Lucy. At all.
Stimpy.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe he could have handled things different at the bowling alley, but he was frustrated and they were drinking. So he walked off on her. You know, like.
Which wasn't even that bad.
He said, have another drink. You know. And then the last thing I wrote down is Mike brows stay on point, baby. He don't miss a brow appointment at all.
Ever.
Honey, if you live in the Boston area or wherever they at, if you need a brow person, figure out who Mike go to. Because let me tell you something. They have him hooked up every appointment. And that's all I got to say.
She works 7 days a week.
Let's move on to Jasmina and Michael.
OMG, here we go.
Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina and Michael had a picnic where Michael gave Jasmina's dog an abundance of gifts.
Showered the puppy with gifts. Okay.
I have a dog, and when my spouse come home and bring hella toys for the dog, I'd be like,
true story.
Damn.
You love the dog, huh? More than you love me?
I guess the dog just like, you got the dog 5 or 6 things. You couldn't get Jasmina one thing?
Right. Not one? A treat?
One sentimental thing? It didn't have to, I'm not saying a Gucci purse. I'm just saying like, you know, some chocolates or like, what is she like? What have you learned about her?
Right.
You learned that she really cares about her dog, so you got her dog a bunch of stuff.
It's a dog, not a kid.
Okay. What did y'all think about that? I thought it was excessive. Maybe getting the dog 1 or 2 things, but he got the dog like 5 or 6 things. Like, okay. I wrote down, Jasmina doesn't have the basic skills on how to have a conversation with Michael in particularly. Number 1, because she doesn't like him. Number 2, Jasmina had an attitude.
Big time.
Plain and simple. As soon as they got past the second sentence of their conversation about how he should communicate with her, she had an attitude, and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. Her tone was off. If I was talking to a friend and she talked to me like that, I'd be like, why are you getting mad? Why you got an attitude about this?
Exactly.
Because she doesn't realize that she is talking spicy.
And she's the one with the attitude. Point blank, period.
I wrote down, you don't know how to talk to Mike right now.
Exactly.
You're so critical of how Mike spoke to you, Jasmina, that you're not even self-aware to think about how you are speaking to him. You are talking to him in a very, very condescending tone and in a way that one talks to a child in the principal's office.
Yep.
I'll tell you what's sexy about that. Nothing.
Not a dang thing.
Because it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't. Who wants their partner to talk to them that way?
Nobody.
Like, you gotta really do something bad to get an attitude like that. Not say, how do you want me to communicate with you? Explain to me, you know, I know we've had some conflict around communicating in the past. Can you let me know how you like to be communicated with? Well, I think it's basic understanding on how to communicate with somebody. I mean, that is communication 101, how to communicate with someone. If you can't communicate, girl, if you don't just tell me how to best communicate with you.
Right, and leave all the extra stuff on the side.
Instead of complaining about the fact that I even asked you in the first place. How annoying. Instead of just giving me advice on how to best communicate with you, you complain about the question. Get a grip, Jasmina.
A tight one, honey. Gorilla glue.
Michael said, I'm telling you to help me with this. Oh, so you telling me instead of asking me.
Here she go.
You know what he meant.
Right.
He meant, I'm just telling you, I need help. He He didn't say he was forcing you. Girl, Jasmina, you are being really fake woke. You are a fake good communicator at this point. Because I don't know how you really believe that you are being a good communicator with Mike right now. You're not. I wrote down, y'all both are annoyed at this conversation. And I wrote down, Jasmina, come on, for goodness sakes. I wrote down, Jasmina, Michael can't be vulnerable with you because you're mean to him.
You're literally just mean.
You're ready to bounce.
She's mean. Jasmina.
This really had me thinking about whether Michael actually did raise his voice with Jasmina.
It could go either way.
Because she told him to calm down and he wasn't even getting spicy with her.
At all.
I think maybe he was actually getting a little bit spicy with her. Actually, he was getting a little bit spicy. But she had been talking to him spicy. So, like, baby, when you get spicy, I get spicy. Like, you're not going to keep talking to me like I'm a kid at the principal's office.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
Ciao.
Picante.
Anyway.
Jalapeno.
Jasmina says she's been in love 3 times. I'm trying to figure out if she's been in love with a real person or an anime character.
Me too.
I wrote down there is no sexual chemistry between them. This is when we came to the stretching scene. And they were stretching and she wanted Michael to be vulnerable and open up. And she's asking him about his, his losses in his life. And he did open up to her. I wrote down there's no chemistry between them during this. She held him like a teacher holds a student.
Okay.
I felt like she was a counselor.
Sister. Siblings.
I wrote down that Mike finally showed some emotion, but he also showed that he needs to go to therapy. He needs to go to therapy. He needs to go to therapy. So does Jasmina, actually.
Both of them.
But Mike really needs to go to therapy. He said that crying felt good.
I'm glad.
I think Jasmina is like a lot of people that I know, completely
y'all
not aware of how they come off to other people sometimes. But I think it's simply because Jasmina don't like Michael. I don't think she likes him. So she's unaware of how much of an a-hole she's being because she just doesn't like him and he irks her.
Yeah.
She's got the ick. She's not going to be into him. She never will be. Yeah. Anyway, finally we have Olajuwon and Katina.
Oh, girl. Catch your breath.
Then we're going to briefly talk about the group dates between the guys and the girls.
Get ready.
Olajuwon asked Katina, what's your definition of a wife? What's yours, Olajuwon? Somebody who cooks for you, cleans for you, has your children, meets your every need, and pays all the and splits the bills with you 50-50, and massages your feet. And what do?
I complain, and then I treat her like a drill sergeant.
You yell and scream your expectations and maybe how they're not meeting them every week.
Right. Make a list.
Gross. Disgusting. I wrote down, Olajuwon has never seen a wife. Your mama wasn't a wife.
Ooh.
You ain't never been in a successful relationship. You never been married before, and yet you think you know what one does. What you seen? What you talking? Where you seen a wife at? You talk about Vivian from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Where you talk about Gina from Martin? Where have you seen a wife? Family Matters? You seen one on TV and you think you know what a wife encompasses? Olajuwon, shut up. Olajuwon's so focused on what a wife does. What about what a husband does? That's what you really need to be focused on. Because I don't think you're fulfilling a husband's duties right now. A husband's supposed to be supportive, encouraging, loving, emotionally supportive, supposed to speak to you in a healthy way. After you leave a conversation with your husband, you should not leaving feeling worse than when y'all started to have the conversation. So all these people out here in the world talking about what a wife needs to do, baby, we need to flip the script. Anyway, he talking about after the housewarming, you went to sleep and left me to clean the floors. And then they showed him cleaning the floors. Me and my mama was like, that's literally 200 square feet worth of floors you had to clean, sweep. All that and all the equipment and stuff, baby, you literally barely had to clean anything. He complained about her not cooking food for the housewarming, but she tasked her friends to bring food. What's the problem? You ate, didn't you? Child, he's made up rules in his head about what a woman should be doing in every occasion. These are rules that you created in your head, Olajuwon. Nobody said that when you throw a housewarming party that you have to cook all the food. You could order it. You can have your friends bring it, especially if they're great cooks. What's wrong with you? Who made these rules that you're speaking of? You did, and they sound ridiculous. He talking about, where's my other half? You went to sleep, and I was like, where's my other half? Over floors? And then Katina had to work that day, but because she worked from home, you tried to devalue the fact that she worked a 9 to 5. Oh, hell no. Let me tell you something. If you work from home and your partner tries to devalue what you do because you work from home, that's the first sign of some bullshit. For real. For real.
It really is, because you still working.
Child. Olajuwon said this is what he expects in a wife: devotion, commitment, loyalty, submission, slavery.
Huh?
I think I added a couple on but heavy on the slavery part. Chill. My pen and ran out of ink. Katina said she want a real love. I personally don't know if Olajuwon even likes Katina. You can't like somebody and treat them that way. I'm sorry. You can't even like yourself and treat somebody that way. I don't know. Olajuwon told Katina that love is not on the table for him. He said, I like you. For sure, I like you. But standards have to be met.
This is the BS right here, the meat of it.
When I tell y'all I would have packed my PlayStation so quick.
All my makeup would have been gone.
No. Not into it. I'm sorry. I like you for sure, but standards have to be met. You know what that translates to me? It's like, you're not really showing me that you're good enough right now, but once you show me you're good enough, then maybe I will consider loving you.
Oh.
How terrible does that sound?
Bad.
Like, honestly, somebody looks you in your face and says, you're not good enough right now, but when you become good enough, once you prove to me you're good enough, I'll let you know. I would not even let a manager tell me that at work.
Right.
Speak to me that way. Disgusting. Are you not embarrassed?
Are you not?
Disgusting. I'm sorry. And baby, if you can't understand that that is what that sentence means, and that is breaking down somebody's self-esteem, imagine telling your child that. Imagine telling a friend that. You would never do it because it's a terrible thing to say to somebody.
It really is.
Child. And coming from a man who's never had a girlfriend before. Coming from a man who admitted that he slept with a mother and a daughter duo.
Nasty.
Coming from a man who says he used a different name to fool women. And you have the nerve to tell me what a wife is and that I don't meet your standards? You don't have standards. You obviously don't have standards. You're nasty.
Read him.
Ciao. Some people online and some of y'all, and even in the comments, suggested that he might be withholding sex as a form of manipulation, and that he might be withholding sex because sex, you know, how little weight he's put on sex in the past, and all of these different theories. At the end of the day, I think Olajuwon is just extremely selfish. I don't know why he's withholding sex from Katina, but I think the fact that he's saying love ain't on the table, and when you prove your worth, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And I'm disgusted. I don't trust any man who says salmon instead of salmon.
Period.
I actually made a video about that it's on my Instagram and TikTok. You said salmon? Baby, where's the check?
It's time to go. Because
you can't even pronounce common fish. Because you can't even pronounce common seafood items. And you think I'm gonna work to be with you and you can't even pronounce fish? Ciao, bye. I wrote down, I hate coconut shrimp. That's what they made. I don't like coconut shrimp. Y'all like coconut shrimp? I don't. Ooh, I don't like coconut on my food. I like coconut milk. I like coconut juice. I like coconut water, coconut milk, coconut flavored stuff sometimes, but I do not do coconut meat. And I don't do no dried coconut, because you look up and 4 days later and that dried coconut is in the back of your mouth and you found it and you still chewing it. Ugh. I cannot do that. Anyway.
Girl, okay.
Olajuwon told Katina after getting a meal prepared by a chef.
A professional. You
haven't fed me on this level since we met. This is a chef helped you guys prepare this. What makes you think that she's going to be able to prepare something on this level?
Right, like most people can't.
Without lots of practice.
Even then so.
That's like Olajuwon and Katina going to a sex therapist or going to a sex counselor and them teaching him a few tricks, and Katina saying, you ain't served it up like this since we've been married.
Ooh.
He just learned this and he might not even be able to replicate it.
And probably can't. And never will be able to.
Child. Olajuwon said, is Katina even enough woman for me? Well, we know she might not be enough because you prefer to have more than one woman at a time. So.
Yeah. Maybe she's not with your nasty self.
Olajuwon said because he purchased a home and paid his student loans, that he's bringing a lot to the table.
I'm logging off at this point.
Olajuwon, I'm really glad that you've done some financial work. You've had some financial planning, and you've paid off your student loans and stuff like that. We love that. But you know what we care about more than financial work? Emotional work. And when you haven't done that, you tend to ravage through the people that you love in your community like a tornado. And while your financial struggles or your successes really only affect you and the people that you are willing to share that, financial success is nothing without generosity. So if you're willing to share that with your family and your community, that's great. But the emotional damage that you have the ability to do, it doesn't cost you anything. That's what's really sad. And that's what I'm starting to see, is the ability for you to do a lot of emotional damage here. Not just for Katina, but you think you're going to have a family? Ew. Olajuwon, and his attitude, his demeanor, to me is completely unacceptable. The way that he talks to Katina puts her down. The level at which he talks to her with the amount of, dare I say, aggression. Unacceptable to me. Unacceptable. Finally, I took a few notes on the group dates. I wrote down, for the men, archery looks really fun. I've never done that before, but it's something that I would be open to doing. I wrote down Olajuwon needs therapy because he's so triggered. I think Olajuwon doesn't really think that highly of himself, actually. Because if you're so passionate about somebody else not being enough for you, it's really giving me insecurity. A lot of men think that when they talk about somebody not being enough for them, it shows that they have really high self-esteem, but it actually shows the opposite. You know what I mean? It shows that you are so unsure of who you are that you're not even sure if somebody like the woman you've been paired with by a professional can meet your standards. And it's giving insecure. But that's just me. Olajuwon said that he almost shed a tear over the fact that his wife didn't help him clean up after a housewarming party over sweeping. Shut your ass up. And I wrote down, Olajuwon is listening to Steve's advice. But Steve's wife got up and left him in the middle of the night. Now imagine if Katina had did that. Olajuwon might have just called the whole thing off. Anyway, on the women's get together, they got pedicures. I wrote down Noi's outfit was so cute. I loved her green outfit. I'm glad that Katina is finally letting the Lindsay thing go. Let's just let it go. Damn, how long are we gonna be mad? How much energy is you gonna put into this? Katina was talking like an abused woman. Well, I know I'm not, you know, he let me know that I wasn't doing enough. And he let me know that, you know, I wasn't meeting his standards. Disgusting, Katina. And like I said in the past, Katina is a sweet girl. She is so sweet. She seems really sweet, really smart, really nice, really fun to be around. And watching somebody dog her out and speak to her this way is just disgusting to me. I hate it. She's my favorite. She's probably my favorite person on the show. And watching somebody just hurt her feelings is just devastating. Like, ugh. And then you will have Negroes go on and on about good women and where are they and stuff like this. You tear them down. You tear them down. You tear down the good woman. And that's what you want to do. You want to tear them down. And then guess what? We become savages. But we don't want to talk about that. And then finally, Noi talks about how Steve how Steve loves her and he don't. Anyway, I'd be so mad, honestly, about the Olajuwon and Katina situation. That I hope I make sense, and maybe I don't, because I just be going off the top of my head or whatever. But you know, I'm just really disgusted by it. You know, and I think a lot of men really need to self-reflect on the emotional support that they provide women and how they talk to them. I really believe that most of the men that I know in general that are in long-term heterosexual relationships have, if they don't need to work on their communication, they've had to work on it. And how they simply talk to their women. I say, you know, it's really important that you talk to your partners. It's really important that you talk to your partners in really loving and uplifting ways, even during conflict. And I'm sorry, straight black men really need to work on it. Really need to work on it, because that is something that we don't really talk about enough. And you guys gotta talk to me nice. I've said it before on my channel. We're flowers. Baby, if you want us to bloom, you treat us gently. And that's it. That's it. There's so much that could be said about that. But anyway, I can't wait to hear what y'all have to say below. If you still here and you haven't subscribed to my channel, baby, you a hater at this point. I don't know what you want me to do. What you want me to do? Backflips? Guess what? I'm not. Anyway, I appreciate y'all so much. I'll see you on Wednesday for Married at First Sight. It's Wednesday. So I don't know if I'm going to go live or not. I'm not even going to lie, but we'll see. Bye.